You are now tuned into another episode of Black Girls in Podcast brought to you by Alicia's Productions.
Hey homegirls, welcome back to another episode of Black Girls in Podcast. If you are new, I'm your homegirl Alicia, and you have just started your new favorite podcast, hopefully. In this new series, we are talking to women who have found their voice through their passion, so I'm so excited to share For Lady's Sake, which was founded after a Dollar Tree store run by Candace Crawford. A young lady was standing outside of the store, approached her, and asked her for period products as she did not want to soil some of the only clothes she owned. This sparked an idea to fill that need for so many in need, and Candace erected For Lady's Sake in response. Candace Crawford and her wife Reina Kempt run the organization now in its second full year as a 501c3, period, and provide tens of thousands of products to those in need each year. And they are authors of a children's book called My First Period. Woo, shout out. So cute, so cute, so excited. So welcome and thanks for coming to the den.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having us.
You are welcome. How are y'all doing? How are y'all feeling?
Excited. We have a lot of things going on right now, so we're exhausted and wouldn't have it any other way.
Yes, I love that. So before we get started, can you share a little bit about your passion and how that became your voice? Absolutely.
So you mentioned the Dollar Tree run-in that really kind of sparked For Lady's Sake. And that was really, I'm a solution-oriented person in general, so when I had that experience and saw the relief that came over her when I handed her those products, it really encouraged me to think, what can I do to fill that void, right? And so I had to really be comfortable with not knowing things and just starting. Amanda Dare, Woman on Wallet, she'll say, you can do it, and if you're scared, then do it scared. And when she said that, I have not forgotten that, and that's exactly how I was able to use my passion or have that passion and use my voice to really advance it, just doing it scared.
Yeah, I know. I was like, were you nervous? Like when she came up to you, asked you a question, like I was like, how was that interaction like?
Yeah, there was so much shame on her face. And so it really, there was a lot of empathy that I had for her in that moment, because you could tell she's like, okay, just do it, just go for it, just ask, right? She's like, excuse me, was very mild. And I just thought it was gonna be money, food, something like that. So when it was period products, that was a complete shock. That was a complete shock to me. So it was interesting.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. She's like that, and you're just like, I'm just helping you, and you're solution oriented.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to add?
Yeah, well, I heard that same story, very similar to the way the rest of you all in the world were. Candace and I, didn't meet until 2021. That run-in happened in 2016. So 5 years later, we met, right after the pandemic. That shook up a lot of things for a lot of people, right? So, when we would go out and date night, things like that, go out and around the downtown area, you see a lot of people that are unhoused. And it would make her remember about how, she had those interactions and she was doing a lot of that work. But, because of COVID, it kind of slowed down and stopped. And, she's always talking about, man, I want to get back to doing that work. And she would, late night sessions just talk about, you know how that is. Late night talking about, your passion, the thing that you love. And, if you didn't have to work and make a living, what would you actually be doing to fulfill yourself? And she would be talking about that work she would do. And we would always say, like, hey, well, maybe for a date night one time, instead of spending who knows how much money on a fancy dinner and drink, we go and get some period products and maybe go under a bridge or something, I don't know, and then pass them out, right? So that was a conversation that we had a lot. So fast forward when we got engaged and getting ready to get married, we're thinking about what was a good wedding gift. And beyond just talking about that, we always talked about the future plans, what we see ourselves doing from a business entrepreneurial standpoint. So it just made sense for me to file an LLC for both of us to kind of have our start together as a married couple and really build for the future for ourselves. And I felt like, there's many things that we can do under that LLC, whether that's for Lady's Sake and that, or some other things that we talked about doing as well. But because For Lady's Sake was something that she had been doing since 2016, and I know she was so passionate about, and quite frankly, it already kind of was been up and running, right? It's already a full scoped idea that had been started. I said, let's start there, right? Let's start with something that's tangible, that we know what's going on. There's other things that we thought that we would be doing too at the same time, but it just took off. And it really consumed everything to where every other idea that we had at the time kind of had to go on the back burner because, I mean, man,
the need
has grown so much. And it's been a welcome overwhelmingness, right? But we just been going full fledged since then.
That is so good. We love supportive partners over here.
Okay.
Yes, I said on every episode. Okay. And then the fact that you said in 2016 and now it's 2026.
Listen for real.
Yes. And it's 10 years later, the impact is it was still in you to be able to talk about it and keep talking about it. And then it's now it's in fruition. Now you're able to do it. Now you have your children book. That is so really cool. You stayed motivated to the dream. Yes, you really did.
Thank you.
Did you always feel like your voice mattered, or did it take time for you to discover it?
It took time. It took time for sure. I am a middle child for one. And so growing up, I always kind of felt like my voice was non-existent. I felt like I always had to kind of claw my way out of wherever I was to sound heard. Me and my siblings have a joke. We were riding in the car one day. I don't know what I did. I was choking. I mean, I wasn't choking, but I drank something, went down the wrong way, and I was trying to clear it up, and I was like, I'm coughing. I had said that because I'm like, hello, does anybody see me? Do you know who I am? And so they joke about it still to this day, and it's so many years ago.
Middle child problem.
Yeah, I was that middle child syndrome. It's real.
It's real. It is real. And for that reason, I felt like I was never super heard in general, let alone being a Black woman, right? So that just adds so many other layers for sure.
What do you have other siblings?
I do have an older brother.
Oh, okay,
so I'm the youngest.
Me too.
Y'all kill me.
I'm I don't know, but do you feel like your voice mattered? Or do you feel like
I'm the baby and the only girl.
Me too.
So I definitely felt my voice mattered from childhood to a certain degree, at least within my family dynamic. I think beyond that, I played sports a lot, was definitely somewhat of a mentor to younger athletes at the time too, so I knew that I had other people who kind of sort of looked up to me in a certain way in that scope. And then also now, I'm in year 13 now, I'm a professional journalist as well, so I really understand and the value of voice, and having a voice for the community, and what having a lack of voice means when it comes to our democracy, and that type of way. So I'm a real strong believer in how much the community voices matter. And so, we really try to bring a lot of that over into For Lady's Sake, and how we continue to expand our impact as well.
Oh yes, you are speaking my language. Journalist, yes, right? Yes. So your voice, your voice matters. That's so funny because I'm like, I don't know if I can relate to that because my voice, I be speaking.
Listen,
as a baby, okay, I can't be worried about the people. But actually, you being young. Well, I had two older brothers too, so I feel like I really did have to speak even more, but it's I have to speak up because the boys, y'all do what y'all want. I'm over here.
Listen.
And sometimes it's easy to forget because you are the youngest, I think, and I am one girl. My parents was only used to raising boys, so it's okay, I don't want to be playing football. I don't want to be doing that.
I'm not doing all that.
Okay, let me just sit here and chill. Okay, thank you.
I love
it. That's so funny. Did you all grow up in a small town or a big city, and did that help or hinder your voice?
The small town I grew up in definitely hindered my voice. I moved to Louisville though and went to high school here.
Oh, okay.
So Manual.
Okay.
Yes. We've been going through some things. We've been going through some things here recently. Over this last year-ish. So it's okay. We're gonna recover. But so but the town where I grew up was about 1,500 people max. One stoplight, very, very small. And so everybody's mentalities were also small. I won't say everybody, but as a whole, it was tough. And so it definitely hindered my voice. Moving to Louisville, though, helped that out a lot. And then being able to attend Manual, where there was so much they really did value that diversity, and you got to really be yourself, and that helped me start to come out a lot, and just out of my shell and figure out who I am.
Oh yeah. Was it a small town in Kentucky?
No, I'm sorry, it's in North Carolina.
Oh, okay. No, you're fine. I was just gonna ask if it was.
Yeah, it was in North Carolina.
Oh, what about you?
Yeah, I'm from Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Okay, Baton Rouge. Boozy.
Come on now. You want to talk?
Yeah.
Okay. Listen.
His lyrics
by scale, I guess you know.
For real.
By comparison to where she's from, I wouldn't say, but I would consider Baton Rouge a small town, a small city in comparison to most. I think for me, and what I consider pivotal moments for me, and what I knew of having a voice, I do think being from a small town helped me. Like I said, I think my really first experiences of public speaking of sorts happened for me in high school when I would go and work basketball camps and talk to younger kids about, playing basketball at certain levels, make sure your grades are important. You know how that is. I was one of those, having those going across the camps and stuff like that, talking to kids about basketball. And so that, really opened my eyes to how much influence that you have, even when you're young, right? You don't have to be this adult making, a bunch of money and have a business to have a voice and to be impactful on other people. Yeah. You can be very impactful to a lot of people in your circle around you who look up to you for things that you didn't even think they were noticing. That, so I think for me, that was really eye-opening to me how much that mattered, and really carried that on for me moving on.
Yeah, I feel like in high school or like college, I feel like the people who play the sports, I feel like they do kind of like get that voice, and they kind of just get out of shot. It's like real quick, like you gotta talk, you gotta say something, and people are always looking up to them. Yeah. So I feel like they kind of just kind of have that, like that talk or they gotta figure it out if they don't.
They gotta figure it out. Yeah. A lot of athletes, I would say, especially if you're what I consider like an elite level athlete, you spend so much time working on your craft that sometimes you don't even have those social skills. Like you're not going to the school dances and after school whatever to like really mingle with other people. You're practicing the weight conditioning and all kind of skills practicing and all, like there's stuff all year round where you're doing that. So it's like easier to communicate and socialize with other athletes who kind of understand that world and stuff like that. But it kind of forced you to get out of that show when you have to go and then do So it definitely, I had to get myself in the right mental space to do that. But I saw how impactful it was. I want to do it.
Yeah, that's really good. I love that. Was there a time you felt your voice wasn't being heard? How did you overcome that?
Ooh, yeah. I think I overcame, because yes, I've had many experiences where I felt like my voice wasn't heard. But I overcame that by just focusing in on what I was excited about, what I was passionate about. I was a dance major at the Youth Performing Arts School at Manual, so really tapping into that artistic side helped me to work around where I felt I didn't have a voice or I didn't have a place, that kind of thing. Once I really started to dig into my passions, I'm like, oh, this is where I belong. And then I was able to have similar experiences, like Reina mentioned, within that field, within that drive or that focus or that passion. I felt more confidence. So once I really figured out where, I belonged, then the confidence grew, and that's where I felt the development and within my voice for sure.
Oh, that's cool. Did you want to be like a full-time dancer?
Child, I did. And then so senior year, we had a whole thing where college people would come and watch us take a dance class, and then you could get scholarships, blah, blah, blah. And I talked myself out of it. I loved ballet, but Black girls' bodies are not ballet bodies typically, right? By that standard. I don't have the European no hip, no booty situation. Even in high school where I was much thinner, like I was a stick, but I still felt like and I just talked myself out of it. I sat in the dance office and cried.
What?
And yes, and I'm really, really happy with where life has gone now. I ended up majoring in education and in my 16th year in JCPS, and so things, it wasn't bad, and I still get to dance, so I'm happy about that. But I definitely talked myself out of going to college and studying dance.
Yeah, you could have been a ballerina.
Okay. Yes. I needed a Misty Copeland to inspire me.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool. Yeah, I think dance is something that's kind of slept on a little bit.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I've seen that U of L, the lady card decks and stuff like that.
Listen,
but they be dancing, but I don't feel like it's that. Well, also it could be the access to it too. I don't know if it's how popular it is because dance is expensive, child.
Okay.
Especially you go to them community dance, you got to pay. I was watching dancing dolls when I was in high school.
Yes.
Competitions and all that stuff. So it is expensive too. So that's cool. But at least you found something else. Did you go to U of L?
I did.
Oh, go cards.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I did. She's like, that's fine.
I know. I was like, let me ask. I'm sorry. Where'd you go to?
I went to Louisiana Tech University.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
What city is that in Baton Rouge?
That's in Ruston, Louisiana. It's a really, really small town in North Louisiana, which, it's still in state, but it was worlds different than South Louisiana. And it was still a culture shock for me. I didn't expect that. Like, I'm still in state, right? But it's worlds different. People in Louisiana, we refer to North Louisiana as Southern Arkansas.
Oh.
Sorry to anybody that's from Louisiana that's listening. I'm telling the truth.
Yeah.
Whether you believe it or not. But yeah.
I think that is crazy too, though, because you're saying that, like, even in Kentucky, you can have different experiences, cultural experiences. Yeah, because I went to University of Louisville for my undergrad, but then I went to Bowling Green to WKU for my grad.
Okay.
Completely different experiences.
What, 3 hours? What? Not even 3 hours.
It's an hour and a half, but they're just like behind. They're an hour behind.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, so
that's why it's like that. Yeah. But just like that complete shock too, and it's just like even that thing. It could be like I feel like I don't have no voice. I'm like I ain't seen nobody. I ain't know nobody. But then you come here. It's real city down there is real. I was like Eastern Kentucky. Like it's just so interesting how like the state can be like split up.
Yes.
And like it just be like okay, then you have two different completely experiences. Yeah.
For sure.
I think that is so interesting. So let's get to the next question. Did you have any fears or doubts when you started embracing your passion?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, and on every front, whether we're talking about here with For Lady's Sake, or we talking about with in my industry with journalism, there's always a sense of like imposter syndrome. So specifically with For Lady's Sake, I think we both would say like, yes, we have the passion to do this, but neither of us had the know-how, right? Like running a nonprofit is running a business, and none of us were not business majors. We've never run a business before. We don't like just exceed in finance or law, all of those different things. So like we came in and was like, hey, okay, we want to do this thing. I filed the LLC, right? Okay, figured out how to do that. And then lo and behold, maybe a couple months later, Secretary of State's calling and the IRS is calling and stuff. Like this is real now. And I think that's when it hit us. You got to turn in this and you got to do this. You got to now. I think that's when it really hit us. Like, oh shit, we don't know nothing about none of this. And so we wanted to make sure that we put our best foot forward. But I think that definitely was very overwhelming and intimidating at first. Just to feel like that rush of just like, we don't know anything about any of this. And there's like this upcoming deadline. But thankfully we had some great people in our corner that were able to help us through those early steps and help us get our bearings up under us. But I think for a secondary starting, we were like, I don't know.
So you had an LLC, and then did you switch it to the 501c, or do you still have your LLC?
We still have the LLC.
We still have the LLC, but I think what we did then is when we then filed an S corp for specifically the nonprofit. Once we realized where we were going to shape that and that we needed to do something a little different. So now we technically have two businesses because we filed that at first, and so that made it even more overwhelming. Because I'm like, what did I do? What did I just do? So we are, we still talk about what that second business will look like someday. But man, like this nonprofit is just like has been the focus right now.
It's just like you can only focus on one thing. Like
absolutely,
it's very overwhelming.
Yeah, and we both still work full time. We have a kid. She's in her doctorate program. All the things. So like life is busy in so many different fronts, right? And there's only so much room for so many things. So we're just kind of trying to prioritize right now.
Yeah, like we should talk about balance. How y'all balancing the passion, the class. Are you a teacher?
I'm an assistant principal.
Congratulations! I love my assistant principals when I was in high school, so that's so cool. And I have black assistant principals, women.
I love that.
So that's really cool. I love that. And so then you're getting your doctorate in
education. It's K-12 district leadership. So
you're talking principal?
Superintendent certificate.
Superintendent. I love that. Yeah, that's cool. And you do journalism.
I did journalism and my bachelor's, and I got my master's in communications as well too, which has helped a lot with the nonprofit. That's where I use it the most right now. So it's really paid off in that way. But yeah, my degrees are focused within that career.
Yes,
for sure.
Education.
Yes,
yes. I was thinking like my bachelor's in communication. I'm like, who don't want to go back to school? I don't know.
She really kind of encouraged me in a way to get to that. For the longest, I had my bachelor's degree, and I said that's enough schooling for me.
I'm done.
And then we started dating at the time. She had 3 degrees, and I'm like.
Oh, you got 2 masters?
She's 2 masters and stuff. And I'm like, okay, listen, I mean, I got to come to the table with something.
She's crazy.
I got to step my game up at this point, man. Like, she got 3 of them. And I think it worked in together. At a time, I had started a new job at a company that had a tuition reimbursement program.
Yeah, we love those.
So the planets were aligning at the time to like, okay, I had already been thinking about it just because of all the things she would tell me and watching her with education and stuff as well too. So when that program was presented to me, I'm like, hey, I'll get whatever credits that I can get if I'm gonna get it for technically free. So it worked out that I got a good portion of that master's degree paid for by the company that I was working for at that time. So it worked out.
Yeah. So what's your other master's in?
I have my bachelor's is in education. I got my first master's in teacher leadership, and then the second was an educational specialist degree in school leadership. So I was able to. That's my principal certification that came with that. So I'm an assistant principal now. I technically have the credentials to become a principal if I choose. And then completed my coursework for my doctorate. And now I completed that in the summer. And so now I'm just working on my dissertation.
Okay, we love that. I was going to ask, like, was education something you all were passionate about? Did you feel like you needed it to kind of go to the next level? Or you were just like, I don't know, depending on like because you have the businesses, then you have the nonprofit, but you also have the career too. So I'm just like, is it just something that y'all want to do, or is it something that you feel like you needed to do to kind of go forward with your...
We're nerds. That's first and foremost. Yes, there is the degree of thinking about our career trajectory for ourselves and what makes sense to get there for ourselves when it comes to degrees and things like that. But ultimately, we love to learn. We love lifelong learners who love to read. Like trivia night is fun for us. And I said trivia night is just like competitive tests.
A big quiz.
They just want to take tests, just to take tests. So like education is something that we both do a lot of. Like, and even after my master's degree, I'm in different professional leadership type cohorts to continue to learn, whether it's from a journalism standpoint or for a nonprofit standpoint. Same with her, we're always looking for opportunities to learn. So there's always a degree of that.
I guess I'm the only black woman that they talking about black women get bored, they get degrees, baby. I subscribe to that. I subscribe. Like, I'd be ready for another degree, but I see all kinds of social media.
It's a good question because for me, in terms of my the education focus, I felt like people say, "Oh, you're getting your doctorate. What are you going to do? Are you going to be a principal? Are you trying to go to college level? Blah blah blah." I personally, just want to be able to sit at the table with the people who are making those decisions.
I do agree.
And unfortunately, sometimes they don't hear us until they see those few little extra letters that they got. I'm like, okay, now do you hear me? It's really one of those things, right? And so we've been talking a lot about voice. And while it shouldn't be that way, and while I'm truly just excited about the research aspect of the degree, I'm also really excited to then have it open up some more doors for me to have conversations with people, to advocate for folks who really don't have that voice for themselves.
Yes.
So that's been the biggest piece.
Yes. What's your research in?
So I'm looking at the differentiation between how Black girls' behaviors in the classroom are perceived versus their non-Black counterparts. And if there is some sort of cultural differentiation, which we know there really is, but trying to narrow that in, right? So for example, a dress code violation for a Black girl might be different from a white girl because of our body shape. Or you might get a disruption in a classroom behavior code because of your volume, and sometimes we're just loud. And so we just loud. And so really trying to people don't hear that stuff sometimes until they hear the research behind it or the science behind it. And there's a lot of research right now about Black boys, and they talk a lot about that school to prison pipeline and all those types of things. And it tracks, but Black girls are often left out of the conversation, and so that's where my focus is for my research.
Yes, I feel like working in the school system is like Black boys, they kind of get it with like their education, like, you know, they might like literacy is really important, but then like Black girls, they get it for like talking too much. Yes. I just be seeing the stuff on people's timeline. They be like, my report card said talking too much. Now I think mine did too.
Okay,
on the podcast. Okay. Like I'm on YouTube, like you said I talk too much, I don't talk enough or something like that. But then it goes to like, your voice being heard, and I should take that back. Like, I do talk too much because you're gonna hear me.
Exactly.
That's good, but I love that. You were talking about trivia nights. Have y'all ever thought about doing like a trivia night for like a fundraiser?
We actually haven't. That's a good idea.
We talk about a couple different things, and you know, I'm not sure that this does fit the bill right here, right now. However, as we've been talking about different fundraisers, we've learned that there are some nuances on what you can and cannot do as a nonprofit with certain paperwork. Some things that you can do without, you know, having this extra level of paperwork, some things you can. So we've been kind of staying away from anything that is considered like gaming and things like that. But I think actual trivia night would actually work.
Yeah, I actually went to one last night for a nonprofit, so that's right.
Right, I know you can do it, but I want to know if we have the right people. But I think we don't need that, so I think that's a great idea.
And I was looking at the questions like, I said, I'm here for the vibe, child.
I know that's right.
I said, now these questions are a little too long. I told her, I said, now the question now is 1700, girl. I said, girl, give me 19th century.
Please,
I can't do that with no 17th century, child. But I went to it was packed. I was like so surprised about the turnout actually too. And it was for like the Decode Project or whatever. Decode Project. But what is it? Yes, today. So I went to her event last night. So I was like, oh my gosh, it's packed. It's so cool. Like it was out there, and I was like, that is really cool. So when you said trivia night, and then you think about
we participated in the Adult Spelling Bee. I was one of the judges for the Adult Spelling Bee, the 2024 Adult Spelling Bee.
Okay, yes, I was like spelling bee. That's so fun. I don't need to be up there spelling no.
No, that's why I'm the judge, honey, because I can look at it and say, okay, say it off the top.
Baby, I'm thinking of a killing the bee and child. I can't do them words.
The stress.
Words are hard.
Yes, but that's fun. I did think about like, so I think y'all should look into it.
That's a good idea. Thank you.
Yes,
we might have to tap you in as our MC or host.
I try to give, I try to remember the
energy.
So I do try to give that too.
Yes.
So the next question is, were there people or experiences that tried to hold you back? And how did you rise above them, Maya Angelou?
Okay. The man. I'm just playing. But really, I've been very fortunate to not have a ton of people try to hold me back. I think that once I finally opened up, not came out as in my sexuality, because I don't believe in coming out, because straight people don't come out, so
period.
I don't subscribe to that. But just once I opened up and really accepted who Candace is and where my passions are and where my heart lies, I've just been kind of in people's faces about it. And so I don't think that I've really created an opportunity for people to shame me or make me feel bad or any of that kind of thing. I think when you approach your passions with a certain level of confidence, that's like, listen, this is what it is. This is not me asking you, this is me telling you. And as I approached it that way, it really helps me to not have to worry about the naysayers, right? That are going to come in and try to talk you out of it.
Yes, love that. Do you have anything to add?
I mean, I think it's with any nonprofit, but especially ours. We are mentally prepared for the type of reactions that we get when, number one, when it comes to, we're nonprofit, we're asking for something from you, right? So anytime you're asking somebody for something, you kind of have to deal with that rejection sometimes, whether it's because they're like, no, I don't like what you do, or I just don't have the time, the money, whatever. So in that aspect, but specifically with what we do with talking about periods and period poverty and all of the shame and stigma and embarrassment that is around that topic, even more so, we are, knowing that it kind of comes with the territory of getting certain reactions, of being shut down right away, or whatever the case is, from people.
Especially tabling events.
Tabling events is super interesting.
What?
Men, women, all in between. Like the women are more surprising than the men.
No, I don't have to worry about it, especially older women.
They're like, Don't have to worry about that, and we'll walk off. We won't even continue to talk to us. Like, this doesn't pertain to me. And walk off.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And
it's like you didn't go through it. Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, but you still know what it was like to go through it. So, like, you know, pass that on. Like, you don't want the next generation to go through what you went through, right? I think the goal is to make things better for the next generation moving down and passing that on. So I think that was more of a surprise just because of the, you know, the connection with, you know, women and periods. But the men too are super.
What did you say,
oh no, I let my wife handle that.
The more interesting things to me is when I see, especially grown men, that they come to our vendor table not really sure what it is we do, right? Because it's not like we have a storefront, right? We're just kind of there and they have to come over and say, hey, what is this? And we tell them, and then they kind of break into like a nervous chuckle and then just walk off. And just walk off. Like grown men with like kids and stuff like that and a wife and stuff. They get very just nervous, like literally, and it's like interesting for us. Because like we see people walking up and we're like, I wonder what kind of reaction we're gonna get here. But we don't say, like, we see people coming up to us and we know that we might get certain reactions, especially if it's a man or if it's an older woman or whatever the case is. But that doesn't change how we present the information to us. And I think that had to be very intentional for us to make sure that we're gonna show up the same way no matter who comes and whatever reaction that we get.
And that's the key right there, is show up the same way no matter what the reaction is gonna be.
Yeah, that's crazy for them to have a reaction. It's like, that's like not.
How do you think you got here?
But I don't
had to happen for you to get here, my boy.
Yeah, like I don't understand why they're so like, you know.
There's a lot of shame and stigma around.
Yeah, that's what I guess I was like, I would not even know that there was like shame and stigma around it, unless like it's like a young girl, like, you know, when you feel or you don't think about it because. I guess when you think about the day or whatever, like you're not explaining to her, they talk about it, but I'm like, I don't see how it's like, it should be something that's like a shock to people. Like, it's every day.
It's still.
Yeah, like I'm so confused about that.
Yes.
So, do better.
Do better.
Share this with your people because don't be acting shocked when y'all hear about periods. Like, that's crazy.
Periods are natural. They
yes, literally. How did your roots shape the way you see yourself and the world today?
I think my mom was very instrumental to growing up in the deep South in the 90s and early 2000s. My mom, she's her mother-in-law, right? So she can attest to this. My mom had never been one to sugarcoat. You know, she grew up in the 60s and the 70s in the deep South of Louisiana. So I think she instilled in me very, very early on what the expectations were for me with the, you know, the battles that we're going to be facing, being black and female in the South, having to work twice as hard, having to be more strategic, having to be more committed to whatever it is that you want to do. And you know, at the time, you know, they always say, you know what I'm saying, you'll understand when you get older. And that was definitely like that for me, because looking back at it, you know, it made so much sense, you know, and really appreciated you know, her instilling those roots in me from a very young age to always be an overachiever from day one. I mean, very competitive. If I got an A+ on the test and she got an A+ on the test, but they put 2 stickers on her paper to say great work and only put 1 sticker on mine, that's a problem. Because my mom said I got to be twice as good to get the same job.
Run me my stickers.
So run me my stickers. Right? And that seems intense, but I think that has helped me along the way from an educational standpoint, from an athletic competitive standpoint, to how I show up at work, to how I show up with the nonprofit and putting my best foot forward every single day in everything that I do, because there's no other choice. So that's always been my mindset all the way through, and I think that's helped me be who I am today and helped us do the work that we're doing now.
Do you feel like there's a difference? So sorry, but do you feel like there's a difference between like the deep South and then like the Kentucky South?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for me, right? Like, and to be fair, I have been in Louisville the most. I haven't like just. I've gone to visit Bowling Green and Frankfurt and Lexington, but I won't say that I've had a ton of experience there. I can only speak for my experience here in Louisville, right? But I would tell her, like, when I first came to visit, because I came here for work. I came here to do a visit, interview, final interviews to take a job. And I remember one of the hiring managers taking me to Nulu and walking around and like kind of show me, this is Louisville and all the different things. And at that time, like I said, this is 2020, so this is in the height of Breonna Taylor, COVID, all the different things that are happening. There's a lot of things that are happening. And I remember walking down Nulu and seeing all the Black Lives Matter flags and the Breonna Taylor flags and the Pride flags. That's not a thing where I come from. Even if you do support Black Lives Matter, LGBT or whatever like that, you don't dare publicly show it down there. We don't see that type of, like, that's the thing. And I remember just telling it to the hireman. I was like, wow, this just seems like really inclusive and blah, blah, blah. And for someone who is kind of used to being in a climate that's a little bit more inclusive like this, I mean, she noticed, but I don't think, like, it was her noticing my reaction. I'm like, what have you been through for this to be such an eye-opening moment for you? And I'm just like, I've never, this is the furthest out of the South that I've ever lived. I've visited, traveled and stuff, but this is the furthest out of the deep South that I've ever lived. And so that was a new experience for me to feel like I'm in a place that is a little bit more diverse and open to that than any other place that I lived in, specifically where I'm from.
Okay, that's good. What about you? How did your roots shape?
Yeah, my dad, both of my parents are military, but my dad especially has always instilled in us that we can do all the things ourselves. He taught me how to change a tire, and I mean, all those kinds of, just those types of basic life skills, instilling in us that, like, say what you mean what you say, that kind of thing. And so that, having that type of foundation really helped as we, as I've gotten older and really working through For Lady's Sake and all of the community outreach work that we're doing. I can definitely say that my dad has had a huge role to play, her father-in-law. That's my man. That's my man. But yeah, he had a huge part in that, and it's helped me a lot.
Okay, I have to ask, what branch?
My dad is a Marine.
Oh,
and my mom's in the Army. Yes.
Okay, yes, military brat. My dad was in the Army.
Okay.
I say military, I think like, what branch? I'm like, child. When I was younger, I was like,
the military.
Military.
I don't know no branches, so now I gotta ask.
Yes.
Army, yes, military brats. Okay, that's cool. Okay, yes, they do. Now I ain't get the tire, but it's everything else.
Listen, all the things.
He had me. You gotta take treasure. You gotta learn how to cut treasure. Excuse me, sir. I'm hiring somebody for that. That's way too much.
That's her.
That's me. My dad tried to teach me how to cut grass, and I told my dad I am a Southern belle.
Period.
I get her. I do not cut grass.
I do not cut grass. I do not. I'm a Midwestern. I'm not cutting that grass. No, man.
Meanwhile, I'm out there on my knees, pulling weeds, or I love it.
And every time I'm talking about the heat, I'm going to cut grass. Okay, you talk to me later.
I'll bring you some water.
I'm not cutting grass. I was about to move to Arizona, so I had to cut no grass.
I know that's right.
Listen, I ain't no grass.
I don't want no grass.
That's how you solve that problem. No cut grass. Ain't no grass.
Ain't no grass. I love the cactus. Okay, I was like,
cactus.
Yes.
Water my cactus.
I be going like, ooh, grass, nothing.
I love that.
That's great.
Okay, can you share a moment when embracing your voice led to an unexpected opportunity or breakthrough?
Yeah.
I think for me, I think of a work-related, a journalism-related situation there. Actually brought me to Louisville and cascaded into everything that we see here now. When I was living in Baton Rouge, Louisiana before coming here, hometown. I hadn't always lived there. My career just kind of circled back to working for the newspaper in my hometown. It was great. And again, like we said, when I moved here, it's 2020. So this was 2019, 2020. Still a lot of things happening in our society. We're talking about with the police brutality, Colin Kaepernick and Trump and all the things that are happening in this climate and stuff. And one thing that as a journalist a lot too is that there's kind of an unwritten rule to a certain way that journalists don't publicly share their opinions because we don't want to be seen as biased, right? If you're the media, you need to be able to tell all sides of everything and try to stay as unbiased as possible. So you're allowed to have your feelings, but you don't talk about them publicly because of just towing that line and just bipartisanship type thing. My career had been writing for the first part of the career, but a lot of the work that I had been doing has been behind the scenes and stuff. I hadn't really been writing and having my name out there and things like that in a while. But I just felt very heavy with all the things that were going on around me. And I asked my boss at the time, who was also the best man at my wedding.
Okay.
We grew close and stuff. But I asked my boss at the time, I was like, I just got a lot of things on my mind. Do you mind if I write a column? And you can run it if you want to run it. If you don't want to run it, no harm, no foul. And he said, sure. I think a part of that, because COVID just hit too, so there's like a lack of sports going on. So it's like, sure, write something
to fill the space.
And so I just wrote about my personal experience with police at the time, which I feel like for me, I had a very unique experience with police. On one hand, as you can imagine, right, all the things. But on the other hand, I was partially raised by black men police. A lot of my basketball coaches on the AAU circuit were all policemen, and were very instrumental in my life growing up. So I kind of wrote a column just thinking about all the nuances and the back and forth of my experience with police and what I was seeing here, and ended up running and ended up going kind of far as far as how many people were reading it and sharing it. And then lo and behold, the current the then executive director of the Louisville Courier-Journal called me and said, hey, I saw this column. I want you to come run our sports department.
What? Period.
Yes.
Okay, Courier-Journal.
Yes.
Name.
Yes.
And that was my lead position. Like I was the assistant sports editor at the time. This would be my first time leading a department at the very top. 29 years old at the time.
Okay.
Black woman. I think at the time of accepting the job, I was the only black woman leading a sports department of that size in the country.
Oh my God.
So all of that happened for me just going forward
and
with that.
Sharing your voice.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I was going to ask you, you were a sports writer?
At the time, yeah.
You do something different now.
I do something different now. Yeah, for sure.
As a sports writer. Okay, that's really cool. And what about yourself?
Yeah.
The question? Are you good?
Yeah, I think it was just a time where using your voice really opened up some doors, essentially.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah.
That's a good question. And I heard the question and I'm like, I know that the answer is yes. And I'm trying to think of a specific example. I think the biggest thing is with For Lady's Sake. Being confident enough to say, you know what, let's just try. Let's just do something. And so I was working with the women's ministry in my church, and I led Women's Day 2 years in a row. And so I was able to work with that women's ministry and start doing a little bit of outreach without that, official nonprofit status, just out of the goodness of my heart. And with the support of some amazing women. I say all the time that I was just slinging pads out the back of my Volkswagen. But just like being bold enough to say, here is a gap. I have an idea to fill it. Let me just see. I'm going to shoot my shot. And it worked. It worked out.
Yeah, that's good. That's what they say. That's a business. Is you find a gap, you fill it, and boom. So that's good. Yeah. What advice would you all give to someone who feels like their voice isn't enough?
Yeah. I think that I would tell them that everything matters. Everything has a place in this world. There's such a ripple effect in the tiniest thing that any one person can do that can have an impact, whether you know about it or not. So I would say in life that I think it's important to be really intentional about every move that you make and every step that you make. Even when you think it doesn't matter, you just never know what can happen from that standpoint. And I would try to point them to experiences that I've had personally, right? Because anybody can say, hey, just keep your chin up, kid. It'll happen one day.
Go get it, Tiger.
Yeah, but I think
Tiger's tired.
For fear of, I don't want to make it seem like I'm trying to brag on myself or whatever, but I think it's important for people to see people who look like them say, hey, this is what worked for me. Like, I'm a real life example of how taking that extra leap or whatever has made the difference in my own life in that way. And I think that really goes the extra mile to really show them real life examples. So I would just say, just really take it from the people around you that people that are just everyday, people around your community can decide to take that next level and really see how it amplifies. And that could be you if you want it to be. You just have to, take that next step. Go for it.
Yeah. My advice would be to find your tribe. Okay. So find that group of people who do have that same drive and passion, because then you can really flourish. It's hard to share knowledge or excitement or passions with people who are not like-minded.
Yes.
So if you can find folks who are interested, even if it's not identical, but who have the same passions and want to be able to move forward in whatever way that you want to move forward, find those people. Because if you have it in your head, I promise there's at least one other person on earth who has it too.
Okay.
I wanted to add something else to that too. And it's 2025. Google is free.
Google is free.
There's so much knowledge out there. Of course, it's great to have great people in your corner, mentors who can really, work with you through things. But like, pretty much anything out there that you want to know more about, you want to learn for yourself, whatever the case is, there's so much knowledge out there. Take your time and do that work and that reading for yourself.
Yeah.
Read up on it. Like there's nothing that you can't do. Now there's no knowledge gap out there that cannot be narrowed with all of the information that's out there on the internet. So use your resources.
Okay, yes, love that. So this is the last question in this segment. So how do you continue to nurture your passion and stay true to your voice every day?
Ooh, I love that question. Read it again.
How do you continue to nurture your passion and stay true to your voice every day?
Keep the main thing the main thing.
Okay.
So have that bigger vision, that end goal. Don't be afraid for that to adjust, right? But it should never. If it's truly your passion, it may take different shape, but that primary focus stays the same. And so if you can keep your eye on that prize,
That North Star,
keep the main thing, and then that'll keep driving you that way. And stuff's gonna happen along the way, but keep that focus.
Love that.
Yeah.
What about yourself?
Yeah, no, I would agree with that. I think even like with For Lady's Sake, right? Like, keeping that North Star is super important because it doesn't take any time for people who have really good intentions and helping you and wanting to get involved to say, oh, you're doing this great thing with period. Well, what about people in menopause? What about the babies? What about all of these things that are adjacent to what we're doing, which is super important. Do not get us wrong. But it is easy to get off of your path when a lot of people are bringing in other things too. And it seems like a great idea, right? You grow into all of these different things and people who are enthusiastic about it telling you. But it is super important that you prioritize what your North Star is first and foremost, and you're able to scale as what matters for you, because a lot of people have opinions on what you can do, but would it actually be there helping you do that work?
Okay, no, for real.
They got opinions and what they doing?
Right. Yes. So take that in. It's great to get that feedback. We have been hearing a lot of it and taking into account and thinking about how we can grow in 3 years, 5 years, 10 years in those ways. Yeah. But you always have to be able to just go back and go whatever it is that you're thinking next step or whatever is coming through. Always sit back down with your values and your North Star and say, okay, how does this align with what I'm doing right now? When can I make space for those things in the future? Or maybe that just isn't my lane. And decide what that looks like, because getting spread too thin can really...
It's okay if it doesn't align. You have to be able to accept that. It is hard for me sometimes to think about, man, there are folks with incontinence issues too who walk around and feel self-conscious because they smell like urine and that kind of thing. But that's not our lane. And so we don't dig into that. And I really, really genuinely hope that that's another gap that someone else fills in a different way. That's just not our space. And so that's okay.
I was going to ask you, how do y'all feel about that? Because every time I see it on social media, like how you say, you like, okay, you're focused on period, whatever. But people now perimenopause, now it's always something else. Like, how do y'all feel? I don't know if y'all ever went viral and someone ever said that to y'all, but since you brought it up, I'm like, people are saying it, but it's just like, that is not how folks, like, how do y'all feel about that?
We hear it a lot. Even more about the menopause than I think about incontinence or baby diapers. Those are I think the top 3 things that we hear about a lot. And I think maybe at first it might have been like overwhelming to hear about those things, and the crux of us is still trying to figure out who we are, and then being thrown in a lot of different directions. But I think we've been able to just kind of know that we're going to hear those things. We know those things are very closely aligned and related in some way, shape, or form to what we do. And I think what we've done that's kind of a happy medium is we've aligned ourselves with organizations who do that work. So when someone, just the other day, an organization that we love, and or actually a business that we love said, hey, I got a large donation of diapers. do you all do anything with that? We get that a lot, right?
Yeah.
The answer is no. However, we don't say no, take it somewhere else. We say, hey, we don't have, we don't deal with diapers, but we know great organizations like Mama to Mama that do need those products. We would love to take those off your hands, and we would take those to organizations that in that way. And Mama to Mama has done the same for us, where in that same sense, they deal with babies and diapers, but they also get people who ask them about period products and things like that. So when they get donations of period products, hey, we'll take those donations. We know a good organization that can use it. So we just use it as an opportunity to help other organizations to build that. So
okay, I do love that. And also I think too, speaking to it, like, it's your experience, and I'm sorry, like sometimes it's like people have different experiences. Like maybe we don't know nothing about menopause because we ain't never been through menopause. How old do you think I am, sir? Man, like I've never been through that, so you're doing it to your experience. I've had periods and you haven't, so it's like that's another thing too, like being discouraged or people being discouraged because it's like they want you to have 10 different things. It's like, honey, I just want to do one thing. It's like, even because now menopause, now people are talking about period menopause. I barely knew about menopause. I ain't been through none of this, so it's just like, how can I help it, or how can I can't share experience, I can't tell you what to do. They talking about hot flashes because I don't even know nothing about what's a hot flash. So I feel like, to your point, like staying true to your North Star, where it is like anybody, because that, I don't know, somebody could be like a hairdresser, they could be like, oh, why don't you do like something that's like, you don't specialize in natural hair, like wax, like I don't specialize in that, or I specialize in this. So I just feel like that's a good thing too, to say like, use what you have, stay true, use your experience and what you stay true to, and that's all you can do. So.
Yeah, and I think we go about that gracefully, right? We don't just say, nope, not our lane. We're like, that's a great idea. We love that. We love that idea. I wonder if there's organizations that's doing that. We kind of focus on period products, but you never know. Maybe we can collaborate with another organization that is doing that work on a project that we can both benefit from in the future. So we find ways to say, hey, that's a great idea. We want to hear more feedback from the public in any way, shape, or form. So we don't want to just cut it off like, we don't want to hear that. So I think we found a balance of being able to be like, yes,
thank you for sharing.
That is great feedback. Love that. We're not going to do that. but I'm saying, how can we take that and and learn from it and decide how we can take that as positive feedback and move forward.
I love that. Louisville is very communal. It's very communal, open space too. So I love how you're able to collaborate and different things like that. So that's good. Well, I hope y'all enjoyed that segment. I do have one other topic. It's just a little something fun. It's called Digital Dilemma. So it's either a myth or a fact. So I'm going to read something. It's like rapid fire. So you either say it's a myth or you say it's a fact. Okay. So you need thousands of followers to make a real impact.
Myth.
Okay.
Oh, myth.
Yes.
It's true.
False.
It's okay. Sharing your voice online can inspire someone you don't even know.
True.
Fact.
It's a fact or true?
It's myth or fact, but we can do true or false for you.
No, we're not myth or fact.
I'm gonna get it right.
Okay. Let me say myth or fact. You don't have to be perfect to make a real impact online.
Fact.
Yes.
I think I need
to Okay. Myth or fact. It's too late to start building your voice online.
Myth.
Okay.
Yes.
You have to follow trends to be heard online.
Myth.
Okay.
Be a trendsetter. Make your own tag. Yes.
Social media can be overwhelming, but also offers opportunity.
Fact.
Okay.
Big facts.
It's easy to feel self-doubt when you compare yourself to others online.
Facts.
Okay, that was good. All right, yay. Okay, well, I hope y'all enjoyed this. I enjoyed getting to know you all, learning about For Lady's Sake, and just getting to know y'all as people as well, too, just to, see how we have things in common and just life. So I hope y'all are enjoying this. Make sure y'all comment, make sure y'all like and subscribe, and check them out as well, too. My last segment is like a postcard segment, so it's like they're leaving something, like you're leaving something with them. It's just audio, not right, not read. Okay, so if you could leave our listeners with one empowering message about finding their voice, what would it be?
That's a heavy one.
It is. It's great. It's great. In order to finding your voice, there's no right or wrong to it. There's no right answer. because it's yours. You get to own it, and you get to decide what that looks like. You get to decide where it goes. You get to decide who hears it. You get to decide how your voice manifests in the world. So take that, own that, move through that with confidence, because you get to decide. It's yours, and nobody can take it away.
I love that. That was really good.
Thank you.
That was good.
She said, I can't top that. I can't top that at all.
That was really good. I really like that. So, hope y'all enjoyed this episode. Let them know where they can follow you and support y'all and everything that y'all got going on.
Yes, so you can find everything out about For Ladies Sake on the website www.forladiessake.com. That is FORLADYSSAKE.com. We're also on social media, Facebook and Instagram at For Ladies Sake. No fancy underscores or any of those things. Just at For Ladies Sake. Please check out our children's book, My First Period, a book about me and my new superpower. It's an amazing tool to use for young people who are starting their first periods, caregivers who are not sure how to have that first period conversation. Lots of amazing resources in here. Follow us on all the things. We always look for volunteers and that kind of thing for packing parties, product deliveries, everything. So be on the lookout for the advocacy work that we'll be doing through our legislative sector, the education work, and then continuing to have access to period products across Kentucky.
Okay, period. Yes. That party sound fun.
They're so fun. They're so fun. Yes.
Yes. Would you do you have any last words to add?
Yeah, no, I think she said it all. For Ladies' Sake, we're going to continue to try to find ways to expand our impact in 2026. So we really want, to make sure that you all keep up with us on social media. We'll be working on trying to have a monthly newsletter that goes out so you can keep up with us in even more ways in how you can get involved, whether that's with things like a packing party or how you can do things on your own, having a period product drive at your own events, whether it's the book club or, like you said, a trivia night or Black Girls Den or anything like that, right?
Embrace the period.
Yeah. There's so many ways to get involved, whether things we talked about or things we haven't even thought of yet, right? You can come to us with an idea, and we're more than happy to listen to ways that we can collab. So just appreciate this. Thank you for having us.
Thanks for coming. I appreciate it. And so if y'all not encouraged to use your voice, then I don't know what's going on, but use your voice. You have a passion and use it. And so I hope this inspires you and encourages you. Make sure you check out Black Girls Den podcast every Wednesday on YouTube and on audio. You can follow us on the Black Girls Den podcast on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. That is where we are. My name is Alicia, and thank you all so much for coming to the den. See you next week.